Maybe some pictures of us from the Harborside days.
What up, folks? Welcome to another live edition of In the Trap with Mike and Manny. I'm Mike.
And I'm Manny.
We are the podcast you didn't know you needed. So what's up, kid? How was your weekend?
Episode 6?
We're on episode 6.
Wow.
People didn't think that we were going to do this and take it seriously, but this has become a fun little hobby, a little fun Tuesday night.
I love it. I look forward to it. It has absolutely killed my weekends, but I look forward to it.
Why? How's it killed your weekends?
Tuesday nights we tend to go hard in more ways than one, and I usually end up sleeping around 2:30 or 3, and go to the gym at 5, and then I work my longest days on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'm the only finance manager, and I'm doing it on 0 sleep.
Well, that's on you. That's literally on you, my boy. Last week I had like one drink. I woke up fine the next day. You gotta learn how to pace yourself.
One week I fell asleep while I was entertaining people. I was just literally.
Whoa, you were entertaining people?
I just fell asleep.
What do you mean you were entertaining people? Multiple people?
People were over, and I just fell asleep.
Wow.
I was tired. It was late. It was like the after party.
Oh, after party for 2?
Today's episode is Manny's 2A. I'm excited. I feel privileged to be a guest.
I thought we were going right into the hot seat.
I sent you the questions.
I guess the hot seat was a little too hot.
No, go right into it.
We're gonna get right into the hot seat. We want to do a new segment here.
Yep.
In the hot seat, where we ask all of our guests the same 10 questions, I believe.
Yeah, we were supposed to start it last week with Nick, and Nick just God bless Nick. Thanks for coming, Nick from Mobies. Probably one of my favorite episodes. I watched it like 5 times since, and he ran the interview. The more I watch it, there's like 7 questions I asked him, and he's like, "Well, let's go back to this, or is anyone going to talk about my loafers?" I love the fact that he ran it. So he got off the hot seat, but we're going to do a segment at Mobies, which he recommended, and we'll make sure that we do the hot seat for him. So what I was thinking is we start every episode with a guest, and we put them on the hot seat for 10 questions, and then we go into our interview to kind of keep it interesting and see how they react. So I will be our guinea pig.
You want to be the guinea pig?
I'll be the guinea pig.
Huh? Do you want to take a second?
Nope.
To send out the live link.
Yeah,
we could get some viewers on here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see.
I know.
I can send you the link now.
Can you send to the trap line?
Sure. But we are live right now, so things like this happen. So we're gonna send out the live link.
That's the wrong phone.
Here we go. Get some viewership on here, and yeah, listen, we're not gonna stop people. Like, we don't care. Like, this is fun for us. So you can see our little background here. If you're from the city of Bridgeport, this is our downtown. This is our skyline. As sad as that may seem, or maybe it's not sad. I don't know. There's a M&T Bank building and the former what was that building?
Bank of America, I think it was.
Bank of America at one point.
I said I wasn't gonna drink tonight.
But I made some pina coladas that are sneaky good. They're very sneaky.
Might fall asleep again tonight. All right, let's go. Hot seat.
All right, let's get right into the hot seat questions. These I haven't reviewed, so from the first one, it looks like they're a little spicy. So the number 1 question is: when's the last time you sent a nude?
I was thinking about this. I don't think I've ever really sent a nude. I might have sent body parts that weren't something that you could send to most people, like your grandmother or your mother or your aunt. But I've never done like a full nude. Like that's
well, when you say a body part, we're talking waist up or waist down?
Down.
Down? Wow, interesting.
Question number 2.
Okay. Do you still think about your ex?
Nope.
That was definitive. In no way, shape, or form?
I had this conversation not too long ago, and I was explaining, my ex and my ex baby mamas, and I leave everyone on a good note, or at least I try to, or I think I do, and I'm still friends with most of them, 98.9% of them.
Wow.
And I keep the door open for communication, not only for kid purposes, but also just in general. But once it's over for me, it's over. I'm done.
You keep the paw going? Or?
Nah, I don't paw those. I kick them right out, just the foot right out.
Okay. Question 3 is, have you ever capped or lied about anything on this show?
So I have not capped on this show. I may have ducked, dodged, and dipped, but I don't think I've ever capped. Now, there was a couple gray areas where a couple of the Peanut Gallery and co-hosts that didn't last might have been like, but I think it's interpretation.
Okay. No flat out lies, right?
No flat out lies.
I guess that's true, but there definitely has been some question avoidance going on.
Duck, dodge, and dip.
Man, looking like what was the guy from Mike Tyson's Punch Out? What was the little dude's name?
Matt.
Oh, Little Mac. Little Mac. There you go. That's definitely seen something, a lot of that. I don't know what this question means, so I'm just going to say how it's listed. It just says top or bottom.
Then we said we were going to change that to favorite position.
Yeah, that's I think that's better.
Yeah. Favorite position, prone.
Prone. Please describe.
She's flat
On her back?
on her stomach,
Oh, okay.
completely flat.
Okay.
And there's a couple different techniques and directions, but we're going to keep this.
We're going to save that for the Red Room show.
I forgot about that one.
All right. Question 5 is the last time you achieved PNC. Now, remember, everyone who's been watching our podcast, they should know what the PNC is all about. So I don't even need to repeat it. So if you want to know what it is, our episode 1, I believe, is entitled PNC. So go look back and take a look at episode 1 if you don't know what PNC is. When's the last time you achieved PNC?
You know what's funny is I was just thinking about that capping. I was just thinking, can I use the capping? PNC was achieved.
Amazing.
PNC was achieved.
Listen, PNC, remember, it's that clarity. When's the last time you got some clarity off of, finishing with?
So I'm going to say something. I had some clarity a couple weeks ago, and the clarity, and I said this, the clarity made me more interested. It wasn't the clarity where you're like, what the fuck did I just do? She works at a dollar store. I want her out of my house. It was the clarity to where you can stay over.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, we did say that, clarity can go both ways.
It can go both ways.
So, okay. And that was a couple weeks ago, you said? He's taking a long sit now.
What question are we on? 7?
That was a couple weeks ago, you said.
We're on question 7. Our former co-host is reaching out.
Oh, okay. We can jump right into this question. The next question is, what's one red flag you go after?
This is another hot topic for me.
Listen.
Fucking 40 hours. So I've been known as of recent, and it's come to my attention that I'm a fixer. Now, someone told me that, and then I did a self-evaluation, and then Mike said, you do try to save them.
Captain Save-A-Hole syndrome.
And then one of my friends who works in psychiatry, shout out to Nicole. She was like, you do kind of go for the ones that you need to rescue and save and make them better. So I guess I'm kind of a Captain Save-A-Hole or a broken or, psych background or something.
Okay.
I have definitely had some psych backgrounds.
All right. Question 7. We're only on question 7.
I thought that was 7 or 8.
I'm going right in order. You know what I mean? You gotta unbutton another button on there. You know, it's getting a little warm here.
I can't button too much though.
All right. So question 7 says, did you want to go to a swinger party after episode 3? That was our conversation with Ghosts.
You know, after the swinging episode, I wanted to research it more, but I really just wanted to say to Ghost, all right, you get me into the dance out of retirement. Let's do a fucking swinger party, and let's just go like top shelf. So maybe
A top shelf swinger party?
like let's go all the way. Like none of this like dingy, dirty warehouse, no condoms, no lube. Like let's
play Naked Twister.
like let's go to like the penthouse and let's have a masquerade party where that's all you wear and provide condoms and oils and whips and chains and red room
a tray, a smorgasbord.
and like let's do it the right way, and then people be like, yo, Ghost is back and Manny the Dancer still got it. I mean, maybe in my one of 12, parties coming up, maybe it's not going to be open to the public.
Ooh, an exclusive Ghost Manny the Dancer collaboration on one of the parties, one of the 12.
I've never done a swinger party.
I mean, it's either got to be party number 6 or party number 9. I mean, that only seems natural.
September usually is a tougher party.
Or lucky 7.
That's July. That was easy. Now I like 9. I like 9. Do you remember what was it? September? What was the September song?
That was the 21st night, September. All right, Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's right. Ooh, episode 8 switches. Question 8 kind of mellows this down a little bit. What's your biggest regret?
Not saving half the money.
From the parties and whatnot, or just in general?
Just in general. The parties, I was making so much money in the parties, and I made good money in when I was working 3 of my hospital jobs, and then I also made good money in the car business.
Okay, nice. Oh, well, I think this question 9. I mean, God, I think we're down to only 2 hosts now, but who's your favorite co-host?
Mike. Nah, I love Jess. I love Alicia.
Yeah, it's hard to find solid help these days, apparently. The last question is one truth or one dare.
I put dare.
A dare.
You give me a dare, then we'll do in the streets with Manny, achieving the dare.
We're gonna have to come back to that one. We're gonna have to think of something.
We'll do it open. We'll do an open poll tomorrow, and have people chime in on one dare they want to see Manny do.
Dare.
And then we'll film it and record it live and out in the streets.
Solid. Well, that's our 10 questions. That's our 10 hot questions.
That was good.
Not bad. Not bad. Are you going to return the favor and ask me the 10 questions?
Not tonight. We're going to get you. Don't worry.
I'm ready. You know me. I got nothing to hide. I could give 2 shits.
We'll get you.
All right. So today we are supposed to have the 2 lovely young ladies from the LGBT community. They had some last minute things that they have to take care of work wise and whatnot. So we still want to have that conversation. So we'll reschedule that for another episode. So tonight we decided let's talk about Manny's 2A, because I understand it's your 3-year anniversary of that business.
Yeah, so it's funny. I was having a phone conversation with one of our former co-hosts on my way here tonight, and she's like, "I thought you were just an instructor," and I was like, "No, I'm a dealer." So a lot of people kind of know that I've done the firearms thing for a while, but my 3-year anniversary signifies the fact that I've been an FFL. An FFL is a federal firearms licensee holder, and basically I have a gun store, and I have a pew store, and I have the rights to order firearms and sell them legally in the state of Connecticut, but also on the national level, so I can actually sell in all 50 states. And I can order ammo and optics and pretty much everything firearm related. And the cool thing is I click a button and it shows up at the house 2 days later.
Wow. Is it easier to sell in certain states than others?
Oh, totally. So when I'm selling out of state, you can purchase a firearm for me, but I can't sell it to you directly. Obviously, I'm not going to send it to you in the mail. So I send it to your nearest dealer, and then your nearest dealer facilitates the state required paperwork. Every state is different. To be honest, Connecticut is like 7 pages, where in New Hampshire you can be 18 and over and not have a permit, or 21 and over and not have a permit, and you do 3 pages. So every state is different.
So some states don't even require a permit.
Some states don't require a permit. Alabama, the South is interesting. You get like a bill of sale. You can do a transfer to each other. Federal paperwork.
So in that case, you won't even need a dealer involved. It's just
I don't know all the exact details. I've definitely heard different stuff. My understanding is that a 4473, which is a federal form, has to be done every time. In Connecticut, I have to call the state of Connecticut to get that number. In most other states, the dealer can actually call and run a NICS system check.
That's a background check, correct?
Yeah, so that is the National Intercommunication System. So that's basically FBI, DEA, ATF, city and state. So after Al Bundy committed all the crimes that went over state lines, they came up with the NICS system. So if you have
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Al Bundy.
Al Bundy
was a great show. Mary Ted Bundy. Al Bundy was married to Peg.
So after Ted Bundy, they changed the guidelines from state to state. So now nationally, they all communicate with each other. So before you purchase a firearm, you have to get a safety check basically done on you, kind of like an OFAC, and so on.
In the business world, yeah, they do an OFAC check to make sure you're not like a terrorist organization or anything like that. Yeah. Speaking of Ted Bundy, just sidebar here. Did you watch the Ed Gein story on Monsters on Netflix?
I haven't finished it. I've been falling asleep while watching it.
That is some freaky ass shit.
The fact that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Bates Motel came from that is insane.
And Silence of the Lambs. When you get into later episodes, you'll see that they'll show you that too.
Did you see the Psycho where he's running with the chainsaw?
Yes.
How much blood? Like, and then he does the chainsaw dance.
Yes,
which is like famous. Like,
it happens in later episodes too.
It's good.
That show is.
It's good. It's good.
It's some freaky stuff. All right, sorry about that.
Yeah.
So a little sidebar I had to just because you brought it up. Sure. So why did you get into firearm sales? Like, what made you get into that business?
I was ready for that question. So basically, when I was 22, 23, I started getting into handguns. I had a lot of my friends and family were law enforcement or still are. And we used to go shooting, nothing crazy. And when I was like 25, 26, when I had Valentino, who's now 16, I got my license and I had, a couple of handguns, nothing crazy.
Your concealed carry license.
Yeah, like in Connecticut, not the hardest thing, especially like, before Sandy Hook and before Cheshire, like it was easy, right? You can actually walk into a Dick's or a sporting goods store and you could purchase a long gun or a shotgun without a permit back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And after Sandy Hook and Cheshire, they changed that. So I've always had firearms. I just never was like really into it until the winter. Well, actually, it was the Halloween of, I don't remember what year it was, but we lost Halloween because of the snow.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
No.
Were you here? It had to be over 11 years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago, but we lost Halloween. And I remember we lived in Stratford and people had generators and they were stealing the generators from each other. And we live in a good north end of Stratford. And I was like, yo, what if someone tried to break in for food, or what if someone tried to, I don't really know how to use the gun. So I started taking classes locally, and I ended up at a 6 Hour Academy a couple years later up in New Hampshire, and I started training with the pros. I trained with a guy who took 5 shots and there was 2 holes there. So the guy shot the same hole 3 times. A lot of former law enforcement, special forces, a lot of military guys, and I just got a whole new respect for firearms. And I've been going up there for the last 9 years, and it's just an amazing facility. New Hampshire is just like being in the South, live free or die. And as I was getting better and kind of really coming to understand the Second Amendment and firearm safety and the efficiency of it and the importance of it as a community, I became an instructor. Now, my first class as an instructor, as an NRA instructor, was in 2019, right before COVID. And I did 5 classes, and then COVID hit. And then I was doing classes every week, sometimes twice a week. It was like insane.
During COVID?
During COVID, I did 95 classes.
Wow.
So like from 2019 to 2021, there's 52 weeks. I was doing, if not 2 or 3 classes a week. I was doing classes for people that were in politics that didn't have their permit, that were freaking out.
So it was a fear-based thing where people were rushing to get their license, or was it more so they just had the time?
So more fear than time, because at that same time you had remember Fordham Road was getting ransacked, right? There was they were fighting for Christopher Columbus, for getting the statues removed, right? So I was getting calls. I remember getting calls from people in Madison, and they were saying that they were going to loot the outlets, and they were freaking out, right? So I had 35 people sign up at one shot. So I had like a whole town. It was crazy. I had to break it into like 2 or 3 classes. Madison, Connecticut. Yeah, I've been there a few nights.
Okay.
It's fucking hard to do anything with like.
Yeah, I know the sidebars.
Yeah, you know all the skills. So I as I was doing these classes coming out of COVID, so now we're in 2021. Students are coming back to me, and I'm like, "Hey, did you get a gun yet? Did you get a firearm? Did you get ammo?" And they're like, "Yeah, I didn't realize ammo was so expensive." So if you know ammo prices, they were telling me that 50 rounds of 9mm range ammo was $50. Now that's quadruple.
Right.
Typically it's $13, $12. Maybe on sale you can get it for $9. On the high side it's $18, but it's never $50, right? So as a Spanish American that dealt mostly with minorities, I felt like we were getting shafted. And I felt like they were taking advantage of us because we didn't know any better. In the state of Connecticut, I'm going to say 90% of the gun stores are owned not by minorities. So minorities are walking in and they're fearful, right? And they're frantic, and they're just trying to buy a firearm. They're just trying to buy ammo to protect their friends and family, and they're getting cracked over the head. At the same time, we were running out of cars coming out of COVID in the car business. And I said, this is my passion. I feel like I need to do something for the community and for the fellow minorities. And I applied. I applied to get my dealer's license, not knowing if the town of Milford was going to approve me, if the ATF was going to approve me, if the state of Connecticut was going to approve me. And I submitted paperwork. I never forget. It was like January 5th. We had just closed the year in the car business, so we had a bad store, and the general manager I was working for wanted me to come in on a Sunday when the roads were cut. And I'm like, bro, we're not even supposed to be out there for essential employees. You want me to show up to a car dealership to spin paperwork when no one's coming in? Like, I got to stop this. I got to change it. And I submitted my paperwork the next day to the town of Milford. And, coming out of COVID, everything was slow because everyone wanted to work from home. So zoning was backed up, and it was a painful process. And it was funny because when I applied and told them what I was doing, they were like, "What's an FFL?" So I had to get screenshots and literature and send it to the town. And it was to the point where they were so dumb and naive that they just kind of approved me. I had to write a graph of where the safe was going to be and the precautions I was going to have and the security system. Yeah, it was hilarious. I have awful handwriting. And I got approved. So then I had to apply with the ATF, which, if anyone has ever interacted with federal agents, think about federal agents that are going to let you sell guns. Yeah. So this guy comes up, and I have a great relationship with him. If I can shout out his name, And if you know who he is, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about by his way he is. And two guys show up. So everything I read and everyone I talked to is like, yeah, one guy's going to show up. It's going to be like a 5-hour meeting. You'll be fine.
But they showed up to your house, or
They showed up to the house because that's where I'm zoned with.
okay?
And there was two of them. So red flag, right? I'm like, why is there two? So one guy's real quiet. He's sitting with my dog at the time. Rest in peace to Brock. And we're like 2-3 hours after going through the riot act, and why do you want to sell guns? Who are you? What do you do? What are you going to do? How many are you going to sell? What's your background?
Dancer.
I was the dancer. Now I'm like, the NRA
The dealer.
dealer. And all of a sudden, this guy who didn't say anything for 3 hours starts asking me questions about a local gun store that got shut down in Orange.
Mm.
And I was an instructor there at one point, and I was getting a lot of firearms transferred out of there and out of there. And I was like, oh shit. And they were investigating them at that time, and come to find out later they shut them down. So it was kind of a learning process to understand how serious this license was. And after a 5-hour meeting with them, they don't tell you if you passed.
Nice.
They literally leave, and you just check the mail every single day. And good.
So there's nothing even like online that you can like check your status or anything like that. You just hope and
So you pay, you get through zoning, you start talking to your town, you let the state know that this is what you're doing, but until the ATF sends you that certificate, you don't know if you got it.
And how expensive is this process? Is it pretty pricey or not really?
I want to say you're just under $500 between paying for zoning, the state of Connecticut, the town, and the ATF.
That sounds cheap. Not for nothing. Like
It's not expensive. The hardest part is zoning. And I will say that I'm the only dealer, per my agent, that is zoned within a school system. The only dealer, he covers 3 states. And
what do you mean zone within a school system?
So,
What do you mean by that?
so at the end of our interview, he was like, "Is that a school at the end?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the middle school or middle school." And he pulls out Google Maps and he puts the address and then he puts his location. He goes, 986 feet. Yeah, that's fine. And you're supposed to be 1,000 feet away, and I was within 14 feet. And he liked me, and he still likes me. I'm a pain in his ass. I had an audit that lasted over a year. I'm a pain in his ass. But what I think they saw when they came down to the basement is that I've been training for the last 9 years, that I take it super duper serious, that I really just want to help people. And this is not a business to make money. The average Glock has $25 markup. The amount of paperwork and liability on a federal level, let alone the state level, is enough to make someone vomit, which I've definitely vomited since having this. So they kind of saw through all that, and they're like, he's a car guy, he's a family guy, he's all right. We're gonna throw this thing against the wall, and we're gonna give it to him.
The margins that $25 on a handgun, that doesn't seem like a significant margin. Like how do you make money in this business?
You don't. So to kind of finish the process. So a year ago, or 3 years ago now, I'm checking the mail every day, and I get home early because it's Halloween. I wasn't even working in the car business at the time. I was a corporate recruiter. And I check the mail, and I'm talking to the kids, and I see an envelope from DC. And I opened it, and I got down to my knees, and a tear came down. And I was like, I'm a business owner. Because now, right, you got an LLC, you're approved from at a federal level, state level, a city level, you're a business owner. And I was ecstatic. So then you get all your access to, distributors, and you can sell direct, and you realize that there's a cost, which is marked up from the manufacturer. And then there's a market price, which is what everyone's selling it for. And then there's an MSRP, which no one's selling it for. And the markup and what everyone's selling it for is anywhere from $25 to $75, I would say, on average.
Wow.
So again, I got to call the state of Connecticut. I've got to make sure that you are who you are. I have to file this into my book. I have to do federal paperwork, which I got in trouble because people weren't putting their middle names and dating stuff the right way. And I made $25.
And is it the same for ammo as far as the
ammo? There's really no markup because the market is so aggressive. Optics, there's almost like a 50% markup. Like optics are crazy. Certain accessories. But listen, a $3,000 gun may have $200 markup. How many people are buying a $3,000 gun?
Right.
So it's different.
So why did you choose the name Manny's 2A? What does that symbolize?
I was so excited to have my own business that obviously I went with my name. And 2A was special to me because a lot of people don't realize that the Second Amendment in our Constitution is, as you have it here,
I have it pulled up. I'm ready.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
So in simple layman's terms, what does that mean to you?
It means to me that we have the right to defend ourselves against tyranny and against the bad people in the world. And it goes back to what I was saying. The reason why I got into this in the beginning was just to protect the family and be a responsible gun owner. That's really the nut and bolts of it.
So that's funny that you say bring up tyranny and protect us from tyranny and this and that, right? Because I remember a few years ago the whole "Don't tread on me" flags and all that nonsense. So at what point, what to you says, "Hey, we're up against tyranny"? Because a lot of people now, feel that we're going through it right now. So at what point do the people rise up, so to speak?
So it's funny because I'm very different with my background in firearms because I was an instructor first, right? I had a kid. I saw the world kind of going in a different direction, and I didn't say I'm going to go buy more guns. I said to myself, I got to learn how to use the gun I have. And I think that's the biggest difference between the people that wave a flag that says "Don't tread on me" and the people that have tattooed on their body, like myself, "Mol and Lavi." So "Mol and Lavi" is the Greek terminology from the Spartans that says "Come take them." So when, whatever the Persian Empire wanted to invade Greece said, "Listen, just leave us alone." Or the Spartans, right?
Spartans.
They said, "Just leave us alone."
It's Sparta.
Exactly, right? He didn't say, "I'm gonna go and take your kids." He said, "Leave my kids alone, or else it's on." And I think that's the difference, right? The guys who hang the flags, "Don't tread on me," or the complete, to the right. And listen, I'll say it: the Trumpers, right? And I voted for them, but I'm not, MAGA or all this other stuff that comes along with that.
You're not a MAGA bicho?
Well, no, because I trained, right? Like I always tell people, train. Don't buy a whole bunch of guns because you can give me a $300 gun and a $3,000 gun, and I'm going to hit the same damn bullseye. The people that have 13 guns who don't shoot them, you're not hitting shit. And those are the people that scare me. They really are. I trained with a guy up north, and he was in production for 6 hours. So he made the guns. And during COVID, they were slow, and they were training countries in other countries. They were training soldiers in other countries. So I said to this guy, all excited, I'm like, "Hey, how many guns you got? You work for SIG. How many guns you got?" Two. He said, "I got 20,000 draws out of this holster."
So he's an expert. He ain't missing.
The dude was going outside of his house in the backyard during COVID, and he wasn't shooting his gun. He was learning how to draw it from the holster and see his sights. And that's the respect, and that's what I learned training with professionals, is that it's not about having the biggest gun. It's not about having the most guns. It's being the most effective with one gun.
Wow.
So my insight is very different when it comes to like the people that, want to storm the gates. Listen, I would say this when I was an instructor and I was doing the classes in person. I would say, is anyone law enforcement or military in here? And no one would raise their hand. And I'd be like, the chances of you dying and someone coming after you are so damn low,
right?
That relax.
And then that's funny because that you used to always try to get me to get my license. I used to say, dude, we live in Fairfield County. Like, when am I ever gonna freaking need a weapon? You know?
And then on the flip side, the people like yourself, I would say it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And then I would say two key things. We had the worst school shooting in the history of this country because of someone with mental illness who got his hands on a gun. And then we had this awful tragedy in Cheshire. And these are all within 25 miles of where we live. So working in psychiatry for 12 years, I'll tell you that they're walking amongst us.
Oh, absolutely.
And all it takes is one bad day for them to, open fire, and God forbid any of us are there.
Because we see these things a little differently, but like, what do you think is the biggest issue that's causing, people to go crazy and
school shooting, or just in general?
In general, yeah.
I think it's stress. Listen, I don't know. I think video games. When Sandy Hook happened, it hit really close. I did a lot of research on that, and the kid was so fascinated with getting a high score. He looked at all the killings and he wanted to surpass them for a high score. And I thought to myself, I'm like, they think it's a video game. They think, and there's a mental illness capacity to it, and there's a lack of discipline. And
I mean, I think that goes without saying. Anyone who's going to do something like that is clearly a mental health issue going on. Like, I don't care. Like,
and I don't think, right now, what we've seen since Trump was shot last year, right, is the hate that oozes towards one individual, right? And I did not like Sleepy Joe, but I never would have ever said I'm going to go get him. Right. And it's like that balance, right, between you hating the other party and you going and sitting in a bird's nest and waiting on a golf course for 12 hours to take a shot. like that shouldn't be happening. And it's happening more and more. And it's bad.
Yeah. People who take it that far is just like, get a life, dude. Like, there's a whole world going on outside of, politics. And I will say, like, obviously I'm more to the left than Manny and whatnot. I enjoy it as a hobby.
Sure.
Like,
it's a sport.
I go to the range and every so often, and it's just like, it's an hour of, and it sounds crazy, but it's like, it's an hour of peace and quiet. You put your earplugs in and you're zoning in, you're focused on your target, and it's just, you're by yourself, or even if you're with friends, it's just something for you to do to just, for me, it's very calming.
Yep.
And I love that quiet time, if you will.
For me, training with professionals, right? I've trained with people from DEA, ATF, FBI. One of my favorite instructors of all time was a air marshal. So he taught me how to shoot from a seated position on an airplane in a capacity.
A seated position on an airplane?
Yeah. That's actually like,
he was the air marshal.
Right? So that was his thing, right? So it was amazing. The people that you meet, right? One of my favorite co-students that I ever trained with was a American Airlines flight. What is it called?
Flight attendant?
No,
pilot marshal or pilot. Okay.
And the guy was like 60 something years old, right? Just retired, and he's taking classes every week, and he was super proficient. We did a shotgun class together. And I'm like, wow, like, you would never know that this guy was a gun guy, right? So the gun community, and shout out to everyone I've met over the last 20 years or 15 years of doing this, because they are such cool people. My plumber, my car guys, so many people that you would never know are pro 2A and in the Second Amendment community. They'll do anything for you. And I'm telling you, they will do anything for you. That's my favorite part. Is training with professionals who care, they're family people, right? And we have the same political views to an extent, but they're from all walks of life. They just want to get home safe.
So you talk about the Second Amendment a lot, so you're fine with that first piece, right? A well-regulated
Sure.
militia.
Sure.
So you don't necessarily agree with some of these states where it's just like, just walk in, buy a gun, no training involved and whatnot.
I don't. I think.
See, and I think that's great to hear, right? People with opposing political views, it's just like there is a lot of common ground, like especially in things with that, are around safety.
And a lot of it is misconception, right? New Hampshire on their plate says live free or die, right? So I'm at SIG one day and I see people walking in and buying guns, but they don't leave with them. So I go up to the dealer afterwards and I'm like, how come no one's leaving with their guns? And they go, oh, in the state of New Hampshire, we have a 72-hour cool off period. And I'm like, Connecticut used to have that. In Connecticut, you can come up to me, and as long as you don't smell like marijuana, and as long as they give me a NICS background check, and you fill out the paperwork, you don't fuck it up too bad, you leave with the gun right then and there. So, like, how crazy is that? That in New Hampshire, which is pretty much like the wild, wild west of the north, you can't leave with a gun.
But in Connecticut,
and then
say it's
correct.
I'm not a free state.
Correct. And then you got places like Chicago, which have some of the strictest laws in the world. And they've got 257 people killed every weekend.
Yeah, but that's neighboring.
It is. But I'm just saying, right?
Getting guns from neighboring states.
But I'm just saying that gun laws are made by people that don't know guns.
I can, I think that's,
and they're typically ass backwards because I wouldn't want. Listen, if Connecticut told me it's a 24-hour or 72-hour cool-off period, I'd be comfortable with it because, quite frankly, it's my license on the line at this point.
Sure. Personally, I think there should be the same laws across the damn country. Like the fact that, like, if I'm traveling to Pennsylvania, but if I got to drive through New York, I can't. Sure. I can't bring it because I don't want that headache.
Sure.
Like
New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Chicago or Illinois, California, and now Washington State have the strictest gun laws in the country.
So having your permit in Connecticut, where can you carry? Nowhere?
New Hampshire and Florida.
New Hampshire and Florida, that's it.
You can carry other places, but you can't get out of Connecticut, so what the hell's the point?
Right, well, right. True.
It doesn't make sense.
And what's the process like if I was flying to Florida, as far as checking it,
So they say that you can bring it on TSA. I'll never do it. Have fun. They say that you can ship it to a dealer and then they can transfer it to you if you have a Florida license. At that point, just go to Bass Pro Shop and buy a knife like I do every single time. You're not going to be that long.
Oh, so you bring a knife to a gunfight. Never thought I heard that.
Hey, listen,
from the dealer.
You've gone on the airplane with me. You know that there's always something up my sleeve.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about that because every time we're going through TSA, I'm freaking like, what the hell is this guy's gonna get stopped for this time?
The marker. I lost the marker in Puerto Rico.
You lost it, or did someone take it?
That's a good question. Alicia,
I don't remember what happened to it.
Good.
So what's the number one question you get from like potential clients, like people who are thinking about getting their license?
How long does it take? How fast can I get a gun? And at that point, I usually ask some psych questions to make sure that
psych questions,
or even a person I want to sell a gun to, or even give them a class.
So have you turned people down?
Yes, more than you would think.
Really?
I probably turned down 35% of the people that reach out to me.
35%.
So I'll tell you a quick story. The first 5 transfers I did, one of the guys shot his sister 9 months later.
What?
And it was by accident. And my friend asked me to transfer this gun to this guy, and he seemed a little disheveled. I gave him a little safety. We talked about it. He bought a holster. No fun. No one was hurt. 9 months later, I get a text. Did you hear what my buddy did? And his sister came home with a baby, and the guy got nervous that there was a baby in the house, so he dropped the mag, and then he pulled the trigger without releasing the round in the chamber. And it went through the wall.
Oh my God!
And shot the sister.
Oh.
So now I was actually at a meeting at my local gun place, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna call me. They're gonna call me. The ATF will be over tomorrow. And let me tell you something, for those people that have a Ring camera, there's nothing worse than when you see black cars pull up to your house and ring the doorbell. because that happened to me 2 years ago, and they have all the rights to show up, and they have all the rights to do an audit.
What do you have against black cars? That sounds a little racist.
Well, it's unmarked cars, so they just happen to be black. But anyone that deals with federal agents on any capacity knows that they pull up in unmarked cars,
Sure.
and you know who the hell they are. Besides the trap stars, shout out to the trap stars. You know who they are, and when you're a dealer, the ATF can show up at any given moment and question you for a lost firearm, a firearm that was found in a crime, a firearm that was discharged in any capacity. Local PD can reach out to you. I lost a firearm, and I had to call local PD. I had to call the ATF. It's just not fun. It's not fun.
No, that's not fun.
So when people call me and they're like, "Yeah, man, thinking about getting my first gun. I don't really have all the money yet, but my baby mama said she's not going to press the charges, so that's not going to stop." And I'd be like, you know what, dude? I actually can't even sell guns anymore.
Not the baby mama.
And then they're like, well, this guy just told me you do the license and you do guns, and I'm like, no, I actually don't do them anymore. I retired. And then I delete their number, and I hope that the ATF never calls me about that person because they even called me. But I turn away a lot of business when you factor in the fact that I'm going to sell you a gun, it's going to be traced to me forever, and also I made $25. I just if it's not someone I know, a really good referral or a student, I don't do it. But I did do 477 in 3 years, so I'm very proud of that.
Wow, 477. So just a couple rapid fire questions here.
Sure.
What's the difference between a hollow point and a regular bullet?
Hollow point expands and shreds the internals, so it's going to open, kind of like your fist or like a star. And the number one way that you take a target down is massive blood loss.
Yeesh.
So a full metal jacket is going to go straight through you and not create the cavity for the blood loss. So the hollow point is going to create the cavity and have the blood loss. So when people are on drugs or adrenaline is going, like I'm sure you've seen in cop videos, you can take them down based on the fact that their body is going to fail, not that their head or their adrenaline is going to surpass it. How about that for a fucking answer?
Wow. Favorite pew to shoot?
1911s.
Difference between what's the difference between 9mm, 45mm when we talk about calibers?
Size in the bullet and grain inside of it. So 45 is typically 230 grain. 9mm is typically 115. 45 is going to look like a thumb. 9mm is going to look like a pinky.
Interesting. Favorite to carry?
1911.
1911. Okay, I have a 1911. I like it. You got me hooked on the damn 1911. I think when I first got my license, or maybe even before, you let me shoot a 1945,
Yeah,
1911. I love that damn gun.
Time for you to buy one. I know the dealer.
No. I don't need a 45. I'm happy with my little 2 9s, and that's it. Recommendations for a first-time carrier?
This is what I tell people, and I wanted to stress this today. If you have $1,000, buy a $500 gun, buy $200 worth of ammo, and spend $300 on training. Don't buy the $1,000 gun.
Solid. And you also do training.
I do, and I can sell you the gun, and I can get you a license.
Best defense weapon for the home?
So I will say this: I took a shotgun class, I've taken rifle classes, and I've taken tons of handgun classes. A shotgun is the most versatile weapon because you can shoot close distance and you can shoot 110 yards with a slug and take pretty much anything down. So I would say if you're going to buy one gun for stuff that goes, bump in the night, I would say a shotgun.
Really? And deer shot or a buckshot or
so buckshot inside. So what's cool? That's what's cool about it, right? So what I do with my shotgun is I have my shotgun loaded with buck. High intensity with a big spray, and then I have slugs on my side saddle. And if you get really good, like Manny's 2A can teach you, you can take that first shot and then you can pull back and you can grab the slug, load it, and then you can take a far shot if needed.
Wow.
Yeah.
how early should people start, or should people train their kids, and how early can that begin?
Kill the curiosity as soon as possible. Think about Santa hiding the presents. They're always going to look for it. If you don't educate them and you don't show them and make it not fun and make it boring,
Shout out to the peanut gallery.
then they're gonna look for it and they're gonna play with it. No pun intended. My kids hate guns. You know why? Because they're around them all the time. And I want my kids to carry on Manny's 2A, and none of them are interested.
Really?
Because they're like, oh yeah, he does it all the time. He's down in the basement. You know, we're out.
That's dad's hobby.
That's dad's
do what dad is doing. Huh. Yeah. That's interesting.
Take my name.
Any other precautions people should be taking when having something in the home like that?
Spend the money, buy the right firearm, get the right training, get a safe. In the state of Connecticut, if you have a firearm that's not locked in a safe or on your persons, it is a felony. If you have anything greater than a 10-round mag, it is a felony. And these things happen way more than you think. Do not cut corners when it comes to firearms. There is a law that passed up North Branford. I forgot the kid's name, and I'm sorry about that. But after that kid killed himself with his father's gun that was left out, there is a new law in the state of Connecticut that if you have a firearm that is not locked up, you go to jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if they harm themselves or someone else, then
any illegal discharge, person goes to jail, and it's a felony.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Like that.
I do too.
That's gonna make you think twice. I mean, my kids don't stay with me all the time, but it's just out of habit. Even when I'm by myself, I get home, I put it right in the safe and unload and put it in the safe.
It should not be accessible to anyone besides yourself. That's the law when transporting and so on.
Wow, interesting. All right. I mean, that's all the questions I had. I think that's pretty. That was pretty informative. I mean,
I can talk about this stuff for hours, and what I do say is, feel free to call me, text me, email me, because I do love to talk about it because it is 100% my passion. I don't make any money on it. It takes up enough time in my life. I just want everyone to be educated on it. And I want everyone to be safe. I can't mean that more than I do, and. There's so much gray area with it, and there's so many people that just want to sell you something, which I don't. My relationship with my customers is very personal. Most of my customers, they only buy from me because of this. So do it the right way. I really, really mean that. Absolutely. Do it the right way. But we're going to segue off of that because I've got like 10 things to talk about.
Yeah, you want to talk about some current event stuff.
We got a lot of current events going on. So here we go. Amazon cut 14,000 jobs today because of AI.
Listen, AI is coming whether people realize it or not. Like every business, every industry is going to be affected.
It's not good. In the car business, AI has been turning down 800 credit scores, and AI has been making it easier for you to buy a car, and we have been doing really bad. This is bad. This is bad in Connecticut. This is bad nationally. So, those who are all about AI, just know that it's going to replace it.
Losing jobs, and now we see 40 million people are going to be without their SNAP benefits. So, listen, not a bad time to think about, doing some Manny's 2A training and getting your license.
It's going to get real hot real quick, and it's always going to get hot going into the holidays and going into the time where it's dark at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely. People are going to start getting desperate, and, listen, I'm going to be defending myself.
Buy a new car. Buy a new car right now. It's 0% financing. The car business is doing anywhere from 35 to 58% down.
You know a guy for that too, huh?
I do. hopefully for not much longer.
Oh shit!
What's everyone wearing for Halloween? Everyone I talk to doesn't have their costumes yet. No. And we got a party tomorrow at Moby's. Wednesday night, lobster roll. And we've got what is it?
Campbell Ave, West Haven.
Campbell Ave, West Haven. What karaoke?
Karaoke.
How about that NBA racket,
bro?
Yo,
what bothered me, right? Because These guys are multimillionaires. Of course, they're gonna gamble, like whatever. That's always gonna happen, right? The fact that these dudes had like glasses that like had like where we're showing the cards like through these glasses, they could see what cards you had. That is insane.
The fact that it was 3 out of 5 of the major families, and the dude that threw the game, what's his name? He makes $22 million a year.
Oh, Scary Rozier.
So he makes $22 million. He comes out 9 minutes into the game to make 20 grand, and they show up to his house and count it there.
And if you look at the videos, there's like videos and memes out of him just like throwing the ball away, maybe to Super Bowl.
Crazy.
Allegedly, right? We don't know if he did it or not, right?
Halfway point in the NFL. How's your team doing?
I'm a Dolphin. Dude. We won our second game, and I'm like pissed when they win because it's like, bro, get the fucking best pick you can get. Like, why are you winning? Why are you even fucking trying? Like, our coach looks like fucking Mark Anthony. Dude, like, he doesn't look like a football guy. He talks like a fucking dork. You know?
I love it. Shout out to Outriggers in Stratford. Some friends of mine took that over. Lauren Freeman, the real estate mogul, and Tim from Brantford. I like that spot. I'm going to be going there, and hopefully we can get Lauren on the show soon. We do need a social media and marketing intern. We thought we had someone. They got busy. So someone that can help us with the analytics, someone that can help us with
social media in general. Right? We want to streamline things, make things look clean, and you know, get consistent on things.
We got some upcoming events. Next week is Sly Juan. He's going to be filming live from Puerto Rico. That is my cousin who has 25,000 plus followers. He's been a podcaster for over a decade. That's going to be a fantastic show.
I love you, cousin.
Oh my God. I'm going to be posting so many good videos. I posted the one the other day when he was really drunk and he was singing Milkshake. Did you see that one?
With his accent.
He goes, ha, 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 ha. He's next week. After that, Mike and I are getting tattoos by Tat Scott.
I haven't got a tattoo in over 20-some years.
I'm so excited.
I don't even know what to expect. I don't even know where I'm getting it. I don't even know what I'm getting tattooed. That's the crazy part.
Hey, remember how you were saying, hey, you want to do the hot seat on questions on me? That's when I'm doing the hot seat on you. While you're getting a tattoo.
While I'm like writhing in pain and like crying like a bitch.
Sunday, November 23rd, 2025, we're doing a Friendsgiving episode. It's gonna be at my house, and we're gonna let everyone rock the mic or the camera for 5 minutes and tell a good story, right?
Yeah, we're gonna ask our friends questions about how they met us, our favorite story, that type of stuff. Nothing crazy. You know, if they want to answer the 10 hot seat questions, that actually would be fire.
It would be good.
That would be fire.
I like it. So we should do a story and then the 10 hot seat questions.
Absolutely.
We're still working on the 2 lesbians, 1 mic LGBTQT. They can only do it on a Monday. So we're going to try to pre-record that show. That'll be our first pre-recorded show. So maybe we'll fill that in after the tattoos. I know we've been working on an Army recruiter.
Air Force
recruiter, sorry.
I think he'll be in. I just gotta solidify the date with him.
And then I'm still working, and I'm open to a new person since this person is so difficult or hard to get. A marriage counselor or a therapist.
We need a therapist.
We need it more than we need
it for ourselves.
And that's really all I got right now. It seems like everyone's mood is down, and you know it's dark and it's cold, and you know the holidays are here. But you know, listen, Donnie isn't doing a great job, but we just gotta have.
We got an admission.
Listen, he's not doing a great job because he's not giving confidence to the American people.
Did you see this guy? He went to Malaysia and he was dancing and like. What is he doing?
Doing that dance.
I'm sorry.
I didn't think he was that old either. He just turned 80.
He's the same age as Sleepy Joe.
I still fuck with him.
Did you see? Did you see he went to Japan too? And the prime minister of Japan is like leading him around, and he looks lost. Like you gotta look at these videos. He's not well.
All I have to say
he's not well.
Is he hasn't fallen off a bike and he hasn't fell up the stairs.
But he's jerking dicks in the air. He's jerking dicks in the air all the time. This is really please. Every time music plays, you're jerking imaginary dicks. Fucking guy. He's got fucking dementia.
He's
You
not
know,
having seizures on stage.
that's fine. That's fine. I'd rather have Sleepy Joe. Oh, come on, Peter Gallery,
Come on with it. Come on with it.
I like to talk about
I love talking politics. It doesn't bother me.
You got anything coming up?
Do I have anything coming up? I got
Travel.
softball tournaments these next 2 weekends. So I'll be down in Jersey for that, and then after Christmas, I'm off to Venice. I'll be in Venice for like 5 days. Gonna take the train down to Milan for a day or two,
Nice.
and I'll be spending New Year's in Madrid, Spain. So should be a fun time with my youngest daughter, and yeah, bringing the new year right.
Oh, are we gonna do the episode with the kids on it maybe for Christmas?
I don't know.
I feel like we should do a kid-friendly hot seat. Just being like, how is it being, the daughter to these world famous podcasters that aren't world famous?
World famous in their own mind.
Manifestation is key.
I love it. I'm done. I'm ready for another pina colada.
All right. Well, that was it for another episode of In This Trap. We may be toxic,
But our hearts are in the wrong spot. Or right spot.
place. Oh, that's super toxic.
It's a long weekend.
Oh my God.
Boring.
Boring.
It's the Mike and Manny and the Trap.
Shout out to Jess.
Hey, hey.
See y'all next week.